Good evening, ODU. Welcome to the WODU Basketball Hour, starring myself, Numbers.
I'm Mitch.
And thank you for tuning in. Like the Mitch and Numbers show on Monday, we're back after a little layoff. Last week we were off so we could patch in for the basketball game last week. And before that, we were on spring break. So I guess this is our first show in, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a while, almost a month. But
yeah.
Good to be back. It's an abbreviated one, of course. I mean, there's a lot of good circumstances, though, for the reasons.
Great circumstances. ODU has our quarterfinal NIT game tonight here. We host Murray State, so that should be a big one. The game starts at 7, so because of that, we will be ending at 6:30. But I think that should be enough time for us to cover all the good stuff today.
I think so. So let's go ahead and pull up our Sweet 16 brackets and figure out who we're taking this weekend, because it's going to be a crazy weekend. There's going to be upsets. There's going to be games that are to be expected. But of course, starting Thursday, we've got some blockbuster games.
Feels like it's been like a month since the last games.
I know.
I
hate that little lapse, but it's well worth it because they need the rest, honestly.
Oh yeah.
So 7:15 Thursday, the first game. It's going to be Notre Dame and Wichita State.
I had this matchup. This is one of a few Sweet 16 matchups I got right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have in my bracket, I have Notre Dame winning this, but I have a couple problems with that now. One, I think Wichita State can definitely beat Notre Dame. And two, if Notre Dame does beat Wichita State, I think they're a terrible matchup for Kentucky, and I think Wichita State is a better matchup for Kentucky. So I feel like I'm losing something out of his matchup no matter what, but I've got Notre Dame winning it.
I have Notre Dame winning as well. Basically the same reasons as Numbers. For me, I think Wichita State is the better team.
At least as of late.
Yeah, as of late. I mean, all season they've been highly consistent, but Notre Dame has been as well, knocked off a lot of good teams.
Won the ACC championship or ACC tournament in their first year.
Yeah, those tournaments are so weird. You never know who's going to win them.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that Wichita State has been playing great, especially the guards, Van Vliet, Baker. Takeo Cotton's been playing good basketball.
They're really quick.
They are.
They're like I noticed that like against Kansas, like they were just a lot faster than Kansas.
People think because it's Wichita State, they're gonna play a slow
and boring. Yeah.
No. They have 2 NBA guards in their backcourt.
They're the Shockers, man. That's like an exciting name. You gotta be electrifying.
Whereas the Hoosiers,
slow, boring. But the thing is, Wichita State was really underseeded at 7. That's not hindsight bias. I thought that going into the tournament, like, come on. Like, I know they're not quite as good as last year, but, man, this is, like, at worst a 5 seed.
I honestly thought they did a bad job this year of seeding teams.
I did too. But, I mean, they kind of do every year because they always, like, favor the power conferences. I mean, UCLA, who we'll touch on in a second, they got an 11 seed. Shouldn't have been in the tournament 1. They're just making the most of their opportunity. But how are they 11 seed? What was Georgetown, a 4 seed?
Georgetown was a 4, and I'm not understanding.
Russell Westbrook face.
Yeah, they barely cracked the top 25 all season.
Yeah,
they had a couple of streaks of winning, but there was nothing that stood out to you. You weren't impressed by them at all.
No, not at all.
But side note, Trey Freeman is looking great. I was just at the arena. He's looking great for tonight's game. We'll have Tyler Santangelo and Michael High on the broadcast at 6:50 for your pregame, and then, of course, all of the action.
Definitely want to tune into that.
For sure. But you definitely got to tune in tomorrow to UNC in Wisconsin. That's the 7:47 matchup.
This is an interesting one. All right, so is this the matchup you had in your bracket?
I mean, obviously, I took Wisconsin.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I had Arkansas.
Yeah, I had Arkansas, Wisconsin. I've got Wisconsin winning, but now that it's UNC, Wisconsin, that totally changes it for me. And the thing about Wisconsin is, much like UVA, I had UVA in my Final Four, but the one reason I was so hesitant to put them in the Final Four is because teams that play like UVA slow. They play slow. It's just the way they play. They play slow. Teams like that are more susceptible to upsets in the tournament. And I think Wisconsin is going to lose to UNC. In my bracket, I have Wisconsin winning, but just thinking with my mind, instead of my heart, and with my bracket, I've got UNC winning this one. And also the Big Ten, just aside from Michigan State, I'm sorry, but the Big Ten isn't really that impressive in the NCAA tournament. I mean, Roy Williams alone owns the Big Ten in the tournament. I mean, there's just really, I mean, and you and I talked about this in our group chat. over the last 10 years probably. Aside from Michigan State, the only team honestly that sticks out to me to be worried about in the tournament was that Michigan team a couple years ago with Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Glenn Robinson III. That was a scary team in the tournament. Other than that, it's really Michigan State that's been running things for the Big Ten in the tournament.
Yeah. For this matchup, Bo Ryan, they do play slow. But
they're like 320 something in adjusted pace in the nation. I mean, that's just slow. I mean,
but one thing about this Wisconsin team is that you're not about to just sit here and beat them up. I mean, I watched them, most of the season. Kaminsky's able to stretch anybody out. Sam Decker is able to, do whatever he wants. So I think, with the players they have this year, we've seen a lot of slow Wisconsin teams. I mean, that's Bo Ryan's
they're
style.
always slow,
yeah. And this
is just like really, really slow.
And when we look at the matchup, I think Wisconsin, especially if Kennedy Meeks is out of this game, UNC doesn't really stand a chance in this one, other than Marcus Page carrying them. But that's just me.
I just like UNC. I mean, I don't like UNC, but I mean, I like them to win this game. I hate that it feels right, but it does. And you know what I said? This is the type of team that I could see Roy Williams sneaking into the Elite Eight with.
Well, this game, I think, is going to be in between the 60, 65-point range. Only reason I say that is because Wisconsin gives up only 56 a game. And then also UNC, they score 77 a game. So it's going to balance out. They're going to get their points.
If they can get to 70, I think they beat Wisconsin.
I think so as well, because Wisconsin, I mean, they average 72 points, but they're not a 72-point per game team.
They're not.
So, playing in the 40s, 50s, that favors Wisconsin all the way.
Exactly.
So
Kentucky, West Virginia. I had Maryland in this matchup instead of West Virginia. That was a good game, by the way, Maryland, West Virginia.
It really was.
Sucked for Melo Trimble to get hurt like that, too.
He got hurt again?
Well, yeah, he got knocked out of a Maryland, West Virginia game.
Yeah, I watched basically the last part of the second half.
Yeah.
But, West Virginia, they do it all, honestly. Bob Huggins' teams are always ready. Yeah, they lead the nation in offensive rebounding.
They play scrappy basketball, that's for sure.
Yeah, they lead the nation in turnovers.
Yeah.
So
I don't like this matchup for them at all, honestly.
Let me see if I can find the quote that I got sent to my phone. I can't remember which player it was from, but he said that it may have been there. Yeah, it may have been him. Devin Williams. I think it was him. He said that they don't play hard. Kentucky doesn't play hard. They're going to be 36-1 come Thursday.
Like Cal already has trouble motivating his players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the last thing you need to do for that team. No, I think Kentucky easily beats West Virginia by 20 to 25 points. I don't think this is a good match for West Virginia at all. Kentucky's going to get around the press pretty easily.
I think it's going to be a better matchup than you think it is, but
why?
Why? Because Devin Williams. I think he's been playing good in the tournament, and if I can pull up his tournament numbers here.
That's the thing. I mean, it's the same thing as last year. Everybody was criticizing Kentucky's guard play going into the tournament. Last year, the Harrison twins played great during the tournament. They're playing really well this year in the tournament. They're not turning the ball over.
Carl Towns is playing fantastic in this tournament.
Oh, yeah.
If I had to pick it,
we all knew their front court was their strength. I mean, Towns and Cauley Stein, that's terrifying. Trey Lyles, Dakari Johnson, Marcus Lee. I mean, that's just terrifying. We all knew how great their front court was.
I will say this, though. Bob Huggins is 8-2 all the time against John Calipari. So that is something to note.
When was the last time he coached against him?
I'm not sure. We got to call up Elias or something like
that.
Yeah,
538 or something.
But, I'm taking Kentucky in this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no reason to think West Virginia's going to keep this one competitive. I love Huggy Bear, and he's done a great job with this team this year, but I think Kentucky dusts them probably 20, 25 points, like I said. Xavier, Arizona. Sean Miller, he's brought Arizona back to being a powerhouse program. Coaching against his old team, Xavier, who under Chris Mack, since he took over for Sean Miller, this is his third Sweet 16 appearance. So Xavier just keeps on trucking. I had Baylor in this spot against Arizona. I'm not going to lie. I thought Xavier and Providence were overseeded at both 6 spots. Xavier's proven me wrong, and probably a lot of other people who doubted them. I've got Arizona winning this one, obviously, but I think Xavier makes this a fairly compelling matchup.
Yeah, I think Xavier is going to be a team, especially in the backcourt, that's going to be a fun matchup. Yeah. Rondae Hollis, Jefferson. For Xavier, you got Davis going at it against him. So
I just worry about Xavier's defense, though. They give up something like 10 or 11 more points than Arizona does.
oh yeah, they give up 9. They give
Oh,
up
there you
9.
go. You see, I can't even read anything on the glasses.
nine more points, but I'll say this though, Arizona's they came into the tournament hot, and I don't think it's letting up.
No, it's
This
not.
is a team that looks like they're destined for the Elite Eight, Final Four. So,
Yeah.
I'm taking Arizona in this one.
I mean, for me, Arizona's the second best team in the country behind Kentucky. I've been saying that basically all season. I thought
They
Arizona
just pounce on people, man.
They do, and I think they got robbed of a number 1 seed, and I think they're playing with
Obviously
that.
deserved it if you can look at
They're playing with that chip on their shoulder too. I think.
Yeah, they're easily a number 1 seed in the tournament. Villanova was not a number 1 seed, and honestly, I think they should have been ranked a 3 seed, but they're not.
You could argue Duke should have been a number 1 seed considering that UVA, won the regular season ACC play.
Yeah, there's so much politics that go into that, but
I just don't think enough people saw Arizona.
No, and they're gonna get a chance to see him here. Stanley Johnson is a monster. He's a lottery pick and
top 5 pick, if you ask me.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Stanley.
Oh
Johnson.
yeah,
I think he's one of a
Stanley
few guys.
He's complete, man.
I think he's one of a few guys, along with like Towns, Russell, and maybe and Okafor, that you can definitely say are pro ready right now.
And it's not that they're complete. And when I say complete, I mean as far as where you should be in college. Talking about going to the draft, these guys are above the median level. So
yeah.
I definitely think it's going to be fun to watch Stanley on.
I really like Stanley Johnson
because he had a terrible game against D'Angelo Russell. But I mean, that's
D'Angelo Russell had a terrible game too. So
exactly.
There you go.
So, and we talked about that Monday.
That's right. NC State Louisville. I had this matchup. I'm not gonna lie. I do have NC State winning this, but I will say, like a lot of other people, I think did going into the tournament, we're kind of low on this Louisville team. Didn't seem as inspiring as Louisville teams in the past. I think a lot of people might have even had them out by this point. But they've looked really impressive so far. Terry Rozier, one of the best guards in the country. I love watching him play.
Yeah,
Montrezl Harrell's like a workhorse in the front court. Obviously, we all know about him. And Wayne Blackshear is really good too.
Yeah, this is the 11th career Sweet 16 appearance. So
Patino, man, like.
No, I was talking about Blackshear. This is a slight one.
Oh man,
he has been there for a minute.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be a fun
8th
matchup.
year senior.
I know, right? I'm taking. That's how people felt about JJ Redick.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm taking Louisville in this matchup. It's just hard for me to go against. I love what Mark Godfrey is doing down there, but I think it's hard to go against Rick Pitino, especially in the tournament.
I've taken NC State, but I feel a little more uneasy about it than I did, when I first made the bracket, because like I said, I was down on Louisville, and I'm an idiot because for some reason I'm going against Rick Pitino. It's the same thing that happened to me going against Tom Izzo in the tournament against UVA.
Yeah, shame on me, Tom Izzo, for doing that. Shame
Best
on
coach
me.
in the country for my money.
That's your money. I still got some money left over.
Oh, okay. All right.
Talk about these Friday matchups. So they're going to start at 7:15. We get a West Coast matchup, UCLA and Gonzaga. A chance for Gonzaga to kind of show people, like, we're not a joke. We made it to the Elite Eight. What are you thinking about this matchup?
They haven't made it to the Elite Eight yet.
I'm saying,
okay.
This is a chance for them to send a statement. I've got them winning.
I hear you.
Ooh.
My matchup I had was Iowa State Gonzaga. I think a lot of people probably had that matchup.
Nah.
You had UCLA here?
Yeah. I'm lying.
Yeah. I thought so. UCLA shouldn't have been in the tournament, man. I think we all. It's honestly so much like VCU 4 years ago. VCU should not have been in the NCAA tournament that year. They shouldn't have been, and people killed Jay Billis for it, but he was right. They just made the most of their opportunity. And depending on what you think, maybe that's a great thing about the tournament. I, for one, am not a lovable guy. I want the best teams playing. I don't want the people who don't deserve to be in the tournament knocked out in the first round. But, good for UCLA, I guess. Steve Alford's, made 2 Sweet 16s in his first 2 years at UCLA. Good for him.
So he shuts us up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Shuts us up. But I'm taking Gonzaga easily in this one. I just think, I'm
so, thrown out of place now because I had Iowa State not only in UCLA's spot, I had Iowa State winning this game. Iowa State going all the way to the championship game. So,
well, trust me, man. You just got to trust me on this. Gonzaga is the better team than UCLA.
Yeah, but didn't we think that about the other teams UCLA played? SMU was certainly better than UCLA, but
They were, and we obviously saw what happened with that game.
that was a crap call.
Exactly, but UAB wasn't a better team.
No, UAB wasn't. Yeah, that's
they
right.
weren't a better team.
UCLA got a nice little easy path, and you could say Gonzaga is an easy path too. Like beating UCLA isn't going to make me believe in Gonzaga.
I feel you, but I think they'll win convincingly. So
I think Gonzaga wins by like 7 or 8 points. Something like that. That's convincing enough. I guess. I don't know. No, actually, that's not convincing enough because this UCLA team isn't that great. Oklahoma, Michigan State. I had Oklahoma here, but like I said, I had UVA and Michigan State.
Two coaches that just know how to get things done. Lon Kruger.
It's his 4th different school he's taken to his Sweet 16.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But can you name the other 3?
UNLV, Florida. It was before he went to Florida.
Man.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know it?
One. Nah,
I don't. I remember it too. I was looking this up, but anyway, while you find that, Tom Izzo, man, that's the thing. Like UVA is probably very
Kansas State.
Kansas State. That's what it was. That was before he went to Florida. Okay. But as I said earlier, UVA is UVA is better than Michigan State. I think that's fair to say. UVA was great this year. So I don't feel totally dumb for picking against Izzo in this one. But it's like, man, Izzo just totally ruins my bracket, or he completely helps it out. If you're dumb and like me and pick against him when maybe you shouldn't have. Like, I have I learned something this year. If you're ever wondering, if Michigan State can beat the team you're picking them to lose to, you should probably pick Michigan State. You
really should. I mean, this is a team that year after year after year has not been a number 1 seed, has not, been.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't remember the last time they were a number 1 seed.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't think it was that long ago, but it was probably about 5 years ago, something like that.
Exactly. When they had Neitzel.
Yeah, Drew Neitzel.
Yeah, he was atomic. But I'm taking Oklahoma in this one. I think the pace shocked UVA, the intensity and energy.
Yeah.
But I think this is right down Oklahoma's alley. You know what I'm saying? They love to scrap too themselves.
They do.
So I think it's going to be a fun matchup, and I think they get the win here. I just feel that this time. No.
I know I've grown to kind of like this Oklahoma team. I had my doubts about them going into the tournament, like a lot of people did. I thought they were overseeded at 3. I still kind of think they're overseeded, but I've gained a little more respect for them.
Was overseeded. I thought 3 was kind of like right there. 3 between 3.
Well, they were like a 10 or 11 loss team. I don't think a team with that many losses should ever be a 3 seed or a 2 seed or a 1 seed for that matter. But like I said, I've grown to respect them. They're obviously a good team. I never thought they didn't belong in the tournament or anything like that, but I'm picking Michigan State in this one. I feel like this is a Tom Izzo year.
Okay. Every other year is a Tom Izzo year.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like a leap year.
Right.
But Utah and Duke, that's a matchup that's going to be pretty interesting. You got DeLon Wright, Justice Winslow going at each other. That should be exciting.
I didn't have Utah here. I had Stephen F. Austin here. That was my upset. That was me trying to pick upsets this year. I took a different method of predicting upsets. It didn't really work out for me, so I don't think I'll ever do that again.
I see. I mean, I hear you, but I think in this matchup, Duke is going to win.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have Duke winning, but
Utah is definitely not a team you want to start off slow with.
This is a better matchup for Duke than San Diego State was for sure. Duke's finally going to get tested in the tournament. Duke's had it so easy in the tournament so far. I'm not saying Duke isn't for real or isn't legit, but let's be real. They've had by far the easiest path.
In every tournament, well, there's been a few recently that they don't. But some of the tournaments, they get quality wins and convincing wins over, like, good teams. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
This Duke team is solid.
This would be one of those wins.
Yeah, so.
If they pulled it out, of course.
Yeah. And that would pit them against – who would it them against if they won that one?
Let me check. It would pit them against UCLA, Gonzaga.
Oh, that'd be love. That'd be an easy trip to the final.
I'd love to see Duke smack Gonzaga.
That'd be cool. I'd be fine with that.
You see, you're so conflicted because being a Duke fan, you obviously want Duke, but now that you're standing for Gonzaga,
I'm not standing for Gonzaga. Let's not get it twisted now. I'm not standing for Gonzaga. Okay. But I think that's going to be a good matchup. Hey, don't forget on Friday, 10 o'clock, Kent State at Northern Arizona in the CIT tournament. I know you'll be tuned into that one.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, let's talk a second about these Thursday matchups or Wednesday matchups that we have. Specifically, the NIT. ODU is about to tip off here in about 40 minutes.
I'm nervous about this one, man.
I'm
Murray
very
State's
nervous.
legit.
And let me tell you, his name is Cameron Payne. I mean, the guy.
This dude can ball,
he's
man.
only a sophomore.
He can ball.
And
he's going to be in the NBA, I think.
Yeah, easily. He was here last year. Didn't do much. I mean, he was a star last year, too. This year, averaging 20 points a game. 20 points a game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds.
His shooting splits, man, 46 overall, shoots 38% from 3, 80% free throw shooter. This guy will be in the NBA.
2 steals a game.
Yeah.
2.5 turnovers. So that's about a, 2 assist to turnover ratio.
He better be in the NBA eventually, man. I really like this guy.
He's only a sophomore, 6'2", 180, man. But I'm going to love the matchup. Trey Freeman is doing well. Trey Freeman and Cameron Payne are going to be going at it.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting matchup.
Oh, man, I'm so ready for this game.
I am too.
But I do think that Old Dominion does pull this one out. We beat them 60-50 last year. Way different team, but I think Old Dominion is a way different team this year too, obviously.
Yeah, look at us. I mean, here we are in the quarterfinals of the NIT.
And they beat Tulsa by 21 last game.
Yeah, and Tulsa was the 2 seed.
At Tulsa.
Yeah. So last night we had a 1 versus 2 matchup. University of Richmond hosted the Miami Hurricanes. Miami Hurricanes posted an impressive come-from-behind win in the second half. The Richmonder and me really wanted a U of R ODU NIT championship.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been really cool. We won't get it, but a Miami ODU championship would be pretty cool. But baby
Jim
steps.
Larinaga, it'd be a CAA,
former CAA guy. Yeah, coach of George Mason for years. Has done an excellent job in Miami so far.
Yeah, he's done a great job there, and I don't think he's going anywhere. He's loving Coral Gables.
No, he's nearing retirement age.
Oh yeah,
what better area to retire than Miami?
And he's in Florida, like you said.
Exactly.
So.
No state income tax, retirement money coming up.
Mm-hmm. I think
the dream, man.
I think the X factor in this game, if I had to pick one for ODU, is going to be Jonathan Arledge.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah,
it has
big
to be.
That can stretch a 4.
But Trey Freeman, obviously coming off of the injury, is not going to play 30, 40 minutes, 35 minutes.
No.
Keenan Palmer has to do the same exact thing he did last game out.
Except not take so many shots aside from wide open layups.
Yeah.
He didn't have a best shooting nights the other night.
Did he? I didn't even see him shoot the other night. I just saw him shoot one with the shot clock down. Yeah, he shot 5 of 9. So I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. Just got to make those free throws.
Yeah, exactly. And Amber's mostly really disappointed me.
Yeah, he had a big basket when it mattered.
He did, but he shot 2 of 8 at the free throw line. Man, how can you be our best 3-point shooter and then stink it up at the free throw line like that?
And you're right. And one more thing about Palmore, he had 9 rebounds.
Yeah,
he's Rondo Jr.
One thing I've noticed about our guard play under Jeff Jones is those guys really get a lot of sneaky offensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm. Freeman gets a lot of he draws down a lot of
chase down rebounds. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like you said, and then Ross the last game didn't have his best game, but he didn't have the most minutes because it was a situational thing from Jones.
Right.
And they understand that. So I can't wait to see this 8-9-man rotation tonight.
Yeah. Our platoon system.
Our platoon system. And then also the game following tonight. This our game is on ESPN too. But of course you can listen right here. But the next game is Louisiana Tech and Temple.
Yeah.
3-1 seed.
Another CUSA team.
And the winner of the Murray State Old Dominion game faces Stanford. And the winner of the Louisiana Tech Temple game faces who did we just talk about? Miami. So I'm gonna take Louisiana Tech on the road.
I'll take Louisiana Tech too. It's tough.
Yeah,
they won pretty convincingly against Texas A&M though.
Oh yeah.
So there's no reason to think they can't do it again.
And they do have the Conference USA Player of the Year and Kenneth Speedy,
mm-hmm.
so that should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we go ahead and get up out of here? We got to get to that game.
That's right.
Anticipating a sold-out crowd. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on Monday.